Welcome to Prevention Technologies Incorporated. In this section, we will review PTi Paste mixing instructions. PTi Paste comes in a 1.5 gallon bucket with parts A, B, and C contained in the bucket.
This is typically how our product comes. You can use one of these tools to open it up. And this is what the product entails. Small bottle of Thixotrope, the part B or the hardener, and then inside here is the part A. The best way to take this plastic off is by scraping it down in this manner. Get as much off the plastic as you can, continually folding under. This way it'll keep it from getting too messy. You can cut here. They know how this is going to be done.
That's the right place to cut, Paul.
This is stiff because of the cold.
Yeah. Again, we have the advantage that we can just mix longer.
Right.
Parts A, B, and C of PTi Paste are proportioned precisely. The entire contents of all parts must be thoroughly mixed together. Do not attempt to mix only a part of the bucket.
Taking the part B, adding it to the part A, it's a good idea. What is this? It's a good idea to have a couple of paint sticks handy to scrape out the part B and apply it or put it into the part A. Try to make sure you get as much as possible out of the part B, because these mixtures are precisely portioned to give you a good mix. After getting most of the product out, in order to make this a safer mixture for throwing it away, take part of the part A, put it inside the part B, and mix it thoroughly. And when it's mixed thoroughly, take the excess out. Now you can throw this away as just normal trash. Also, the Thixotrope goes in at this time. What you want to try and do is get this material off the walls at this point.
In this section, we will review mixing the PTi Paste. You will use a heavy-duty drill with a spiral mixer. You will secure the bucket either manually or preferably with a brace. The product will be mixed thoroughly with an up and down motion, periodically scraping the sides, until a homogeneous mixture is achieved with no streaks, white or black. The mixing will take approximately 10 minutes.
Using a heavy-duty drill such as this hole hog, try to make sure you keep the cord out of the way. Brace the bucket between your feet and start slowly mixing.
Smaller one. See the marble scrapes in it. That's not mixed enough. Scrape the edges to get all the material down into the bucket from the sides. Part of the mixing process. We're very close to being done now. Notice there's no white or black streaks. The material is very homogeneous. We've gone up and down and got all of the material out of the corners. Okay, note that when we pulled the drill out, we stopped the drill before we took it out. Otherwise, material would be splattered all over. Now we will clean the tool off by spinning it, free-spinning it in an empty bucket. You don't want to do this with solvent in the bucket with an electric drill. This brings most of the material off, and the mixture can then be reused at a later date.
Can you get the picture inside or?
Welcome to Prevention Technologies Incorporated. In this section, we will discuss the instructions for sump seal repair using PTi Paste.
Applying this material onto the boot area is simply done by using a covered hand. What you might want to do also is purchase some protective sleeves or even a Tyvek suit. But this is typically how it's done. Grab a handful, working it in your hand so it doesn't create any strings. And now you just start applying it from one side. Don't worry how pretty it looks, just get it on there for right now. And then we'll pretty it up later on. Making sure you get it in all the grooves and crevices. And what you're trying to do is maintain about a 1/2 inch of product on here, all the way around. Cut.
Yeah, this one.
All right. One, go. As you see, what I did was made sure that we had at least 2 inches around the fitting itself, and that's how we finish it off. Keep in mind, it doesn't have to be necessarily pretty. You try to make it as neat as you can, but keep in mind you need at least a 1/2 inch thick here, consistently throughout. I tapered it off just a little bit around the edges so as not to make a big mess. But that's fine right there.
The key points to remember for effective seal repair are to apply the PTi paste a minimum of 2 inches around the outside of the seal, and also for 2 inches or more along the length of the pipe. Apply the PTi paste a minimum of 1/2 inch thick.
Ready? As I mentioned before, keeping the product 2 inches around the boot, we're keeping it around 2 inches on the prepared surface around the boot. Now, if you go beyond it a little bit, that's okay. But keep in mind, it'll hold better on the surface that's been sanded or prepared to accept the product.